Hey everybody, it's time for NHL Picks of the Week, and for the last time this season, because the regular season is coming to an end. And I don't do, these are regular season videos. I don't do them in the playoffs. These weekend videos that I do all season long do not carry into the playoffs. So this will be my final Picks of the Week video for this season, and last week, I went 2-3 with my picks, which I'm not 100% sure, but might be my first losing week of the year. I'm not 100% sure on that. There might have been a losing week early on in the season, but there certainly hasn't been many of them, definitely only one or two. So, wasn't great last week with the picks, but at the same time, picking games at the end of the season like this is pretty difficult because you got a bunch of teams that are eliminated from the playoffs. You've got a bunch of teams that are already locked in. Those teams start resting players. They start playing their backup goaltender a little bit more. And there's just a lot of factors that go into it. The drive isn't there to go out and make sure that you get the 2 points because the game doesn't mean a whole lot for a lot of these teams that are locked in and pretty much know what's going to be happening come playoff time. So it is pretty hard to pick games late in the year like this, and I would say that probably attributed to why I only got 2 right last week. For this week, these picks, I don't have any confidence, really. I mean, I'm just throwing some out there. I have 5 picks for the final couple days of the regular season here, but I'm not overly confident in them, to say the least. But before we get into it, I just ask you to please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Helps out the channel a ton and is greatly appreciated. But let's look at my picks for this week. A couple from tomorrow, Monday the 10th, and then I finish it off with 3 picks coming from Wednesday the 12th. And after that, there's a few makeup games, but there really isn't like a full slate of games after that. Again, the season is coming to a close here. So with the 2-3 record last week, my season record is now 56-24, and I have the Winnipeg Jets over the Vancouver Canucks on Monday night. That is because Winnipeg has not been playing well recently, and they need to start getting some wins on the board heading into the playoffs and build some momentum heading into the playoffs. So this is kind of an important game for the Jets to try and get back into the win column and start, at least start playing well before the postseason begins, rather than going into the playoffs playing really poorly and on a losing streak. So this is kind of an important game for the Jets. Also, Vancouver's season's pretty much ended to begin with, but a win for Winnipeg here would certainly just completely, that'd be it for Vancouver. Although I think if Montreal just gets one more point, I think that they lock themselves into that 4th spot. So just kind of a matter of time before the Canadiens clinch. But for Winnipeg, this is a pretty good opportunity to start winning some games and try and go into the playoffs with some momentum. Also from that night, I have the St. Louis Blues over the LA Kings. Again, there weren't a lot of games to choose from, so I just think the Blues are the better team. They're clinched a playoff spot. They're going to be 4th in the division. LA is not going in the playoffs this year, so Blues should probably win that game. And then my 3 games on Wednesday the 12th, I have Vegas over San Jose, just because Vegas is significantly better than the Sharks. And they're still in a battle with the Colorado Avalanche for first place in that West Division. I have the Colorado Avalanche over the LA Kings. So I'm picking on LA a little bit here. But again, Colorado is fighting with Vegas for that top spot. Also, actually, with Minnesota as well, because Minnesota has a chance possibly to pass Colorado for second if the Wild win their remaining games and the Avalanche lose. So there's still some seeding shuffling that can go on here, especially in the West, and actually in the East as well. But in the West, what we're looking at here, there's some shuffling that can go on. So the games do still mean at least a little bit for these playoff teams as they try and figure out what seed they're going to be going into the playoffs. And speaking of the West, again, I have the Minnesota Wild over the St. Louis Blues on Wednesday. This is one because I just think St. Louis is locked into that 4th spot. Like, they're going to finish 4th. Minnesota can actually move up to second from third if things go right. They get the Colorado losing when they need them to, and Minnesota winning their remaining games, obviously. So that game could actually still mean something potentially for the Wild. And if that's the case, I would think that they would want to move up and probably get that win and try and move into second place and get home ice for the first round. But we'll see how they go. Again, I'm not overly confident in these picks. It's the end of the season. Have no idea who's going to be in the lineup and who isn't. Have no idea which teams are going to be playing their starting goaltenders and which ones aren't. And again, this is just to finish up the year. So we'll see how these picks go. Obviously picked a lot in the West Division here, but I feel like those are easier games to pick a lot, especially when you have a playoff team in the West versus a non-playoff team in the West. The playoff team, the top teams should be winning those a majority of the time. So those are my picks for this week. We'll see how I finish out the year. But no matter what happens, overall, very good record on the season this year. 56-24. Could, obviously going to change a little bit with these 5 picks, but that's a pretty good win percentage, I think, for the season. So that is going to finish up this Picks of the Week video and finish up Picks of the Week for this season. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys soon.